As it is 2019 now, box office, it's big. It's going to be big.
It's going to be huge.
Avengers, let's just start with Avengers, because that's the big one. That's the biggest movie of this year, guaranteed.
Yes.
$2 billion without a problem?
Oh, yeah.
Will it be the biggest movie of all time?
It has a chance.
I can
Infinity
see
War
it.
made 2, so...
I can truly see it being the largest grossing film, especially because of the fact that this is the conclusion of 10 years of history in the making. And they have been sitting there, and Marvel's just like pounding your head with the fact that it says you have the 10 years. It's 10 years. And they constantly keep saying, hey, we are ending what you know.
The only problem is, like, the competition, though. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But what's the competition to it?
I'm not sure.
Godzilla and Detective Pikachu?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So
Pikachu's making $1 billion easily. I don't get what you're saying.
And that's the thing. So I'm looking at it right now. Infinity War sits at 4th with 2.5 or 2.05. Ahead of it, Force Awakens, Titanic, and Avatar. So it's got to do over 2.78 to be able to take it. I think it could.
So it just needs another 700,000 or million even.
Yeah. I think it could do it, but
I think it could.
It depends on how big it is, because if it's ballsier and more insane than Infinity War, which it seems like it's gonna, and everybody's talking about you need to see this movie, I think it could hold on for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Something in the back of my head is just saying that it will come just short.
Yeah.
I can see it coming just short.
I can see what will be the reasoning why it comes up short is if they keep it at the 3-hour mark and you have that intermission that is rumored that they're going to be doing. Because if you have it at 3 hours, you can't have as many showings as any other film.
Yeah, some theaters were able to squeeze Infinity War in for 5 a day. At 3 hours, you're looking at maybe 3 per screen, so...
So it depends how many screens you put it in.
And I guarantee Disney is looking to lock down, like, we want it at 5 screens permanently for 6 weeks, you know? So it's like, yeah.
It's not like anyone's going to complain about that, because it would make money for those 6
True,
weeks.
exactly.
Like, just destroy. But, I don't know, because, being 3 hours, I don't think would affect the box office at all.
Right.
Like, look at Lord of the Rings. That thing was like 3.5 and it made billions. But, I don't know. I think it depends how it copes with Pikachu and Godzilla.
Right.
Because Pikachu's going to sweep.
I think Pikachu's going to do great. Obviously, I think Godzilla's going to do pretty big. Like, Kong and the original Godzilla did decent, but this movie looks like the type of kaiju movie you want to see, you know? Like, it doesn't look like trash.
It's also pulling in people that have a following, because Bobby, she has her own following that people, they don't care what the movie or show is. If she's in it, they're seeing it.
Yeah.
So
I never understood that Millie Bobby Brown.
Same.
It's like, she's not that good of an actress. I'm sorry.
But 11, Stranger Things.
Oh, wow, she stood there and did nothing.
She put her hand up.
Fantastic.
So, okay, I think we're all agreeing Captain Marvel will be number 1, but also right before that, you know, like, is the first is it the first big comic book movie? I think it is. It's in a month. Yeah, so it's going to be like the number 1 movie to come out for comic books.
Unless you talk about
we're not talking about Alita. So we're talking about
Captain Alita's going to tank. There's no way that thing makes money.
Yeah.
So Captain Marvel and Shazam are coming out within a month of each other.
Don't you mean Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel?
Yes, that's the one I mean, Mitch. So they're both going to do real good.
Yeah.
Just,
So Shazam's an interesting one. I don't know, like, is that going to get a piggyback off Aquaman? Or is it just going to be like a relatively smaller?
I think it has a problem, the fact that Hellboy is the week after, and also Dumbo. Like,
Probably been Hellboy in the same... No, well,
it has stiff competition, so...
Hellboy, really?
Dude, I know so many people excited for that. When I look at them, I'm like, what, huh?
Again,
No
you have
chance.
to realize it's a Stranger Things. Like, Stranger Things has such a huge cult following that all the actors that are within Stranger Things, if they're in another role, they are automatically going and seeing it. The fact that he's the police officer from Stranger Things, people are like, oh, I want to go see Hellboy now because he might be acting like that. And Hellboy kind of is that character.
So, I'm just quickly looking right now. Same day as Shazam is Pet Sematary, which is getting pretty good hype. I'm real excited for that. Yeah, and then Hellboy, and then, yeah.
So do we have any tracking numbers for Hellboy yet, or is it still too early for that?
Still too early. And yeah, the week before Shazam is Dumbo, which is looking to open up with like 40 to 50, so...
So I don't see Dumbo doing that great, to be honest.
No, I see it doing all right.
And we were talking about how it was a missed opportunity during the Super Bowl to not show a new trailer for Dumbo and or Aladdin.
That was weird.
Because of the fact that those are the two movies that are not tracking very well, and obviously Captain Marvel and Endgame, it's going to automatically pull in numbers. Yeah, Dark Phoenix isn't any competition.
Also, that movie's not going to
It's proper because I'm going through this and it's a picture of Jean Grey crying in the rain. That is the biggest metaphor for Dark Phoenix I've ever seen. That is, that's perfect.
They were doing press in New York yesterday, and look where that is now.
Wait, they were what?
They were in New York.
They were doing press in New York.
Has anybody reported on it?
No.
Wah, wah, wah.
Apparently Dumbo's looking at like 59 to 60.
Wow.
So it's not too bad. It's more than what I thought.
So let's quickly talk about Dark Phoenix and New Mutants. New Mutants, is that going to get dumped on Hulu?
Well, if you're a producer, you're kind of scared that it is.
Yeah.
Why they said that? And it's just like, they have no idea what's going on, which I wouldn't have believed it before, but I think her saying that, it's like, maybe they could dump Dark Phoenix. Not saying they can't, they will, but maybe, I don't know.
I mean, what I find interesting in that conversation is that Donner was like, there's way too much out there, and if Marvel Studios decides that they don't want it out there, it's their choice. I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy, this is not a good sign for you.
Yeah. You could sit there and, if Marvel were to watch the movie Dark Phoenix, and they're going to sit there and be basically Picard face-palming the entire time, because it's like, this cannot fit in our universe. It never has fit in our universe, hence why we haven't had the availability to be able to make this a part of our universe. If they were to sit there and just shove Dark Phoenix and New Mutants, being like, here's the films that you didn't see in theater, but we want you guys to see it, know that this is not our franchise anymore.
That's the thing. Like, I imagine a scenario where, obviously the Marvel Studios guys get to watch all the Marvel movies. Like Kevin Feige,
I'm saying they've seen Dark Phoenix twice. They've seen the old cut and the new cut now.
So I imagine a scenario where in June we know that Disney will have acquired Fox and this movie is coming. There's a real possibility that they see it, and if it's gonna do more damage to the brand and it starts, they're like, it's projected to open like only 50 million. You don't want that brand damaged. You will take that loss gladly. Like it's.
And say, it's like, you just go to your investors like, do you want to take the hit now or take the hit later on?
Right.
No, you're going to have to take a hit either way, but
I
don't know. It all depends. There's too many factors in if they actually are going to do it, if they're allowed to do it, and if the deal's done in time. But hypothetically, they could.
They could, yeah.
But
and
I wouldn't bank on it.
Honestly, I feel at this point, I would be okay with it if they dumped it on the streaming services or on Hulu, because then we're not having to waste our money on a movie that most of us are already kind of going in being like, you're being rebooted anyways, you're going to be done differently.
Honestly,
why waste my time?
I don't see anybody hyped for it besides those people on Twitter that have the X-Men logos in their name.
Yeah.
That's the only people supporting this. Like, it's bad when a giant trade reports on something and they open up with, believe it or not, there's another X-Men movie coming. It's like, what? Like, even they're confused at it.
Or better yet, those one Twitter handles where they said that they got an advanced screening and saw the movie. They said it was a
yeah,
masterpiece.
like, it's like, no, like, you haven't, because you took your phone out. They take your phones away. Like,
Yeah.
just sit down and shush.
Yeah, you sign a contract and you can't do any of that.
Yeah.
So then, off of Dark Phoenix and New Mutants, we got 2 more movies. We got Joker and Spider-Man Far From Home. Joker, I have no anything on it. I'm just excited for it. Like, there's no numbers or any indicator of anything about it.
It's not even on my radar. I could not give less of a care.
Me either, because too much Joker for me in all media.
I mean, it's not even just that. It's like, it just doesn't look good.
See, I'm on the opposite. It's like, I'm really hyped for it. But then again, someone's going to bring it up, so I'll bring it up for you, you son of a bitch. Yeah, I said Apocalypse and Suicide Squad were 2 of my most hyped movies of that year. And guess what happened?
You did.
I took a big L. So
Yeah.
I could get the big L with Joker, but I'm legit hyped. I'm hyped. I can't.
Joker's one of those weird characters. Like, honestly, I can do with or without him. It's just I'm not looking forward to the con scene after this movie comes out, because as all of you know, like, we go to cons all the time, and my number one complaint about con people are the fanatics of Joker, Deadpool, and Harley Quinns.
They ruin it for everyone
because they get so into character that it honestly poisons themselves, and Jokers are the worst.
And that is like a Joker thing. I don't know. I'm just excited for it. I want to see what they do with it, because it's not being bogged down by Warner Brothers, just like telling them what to do, because it's such a cheap production and has a good team behind it. But at the same time, we have Far From Home.
I cannot wait for that.
I'm excited. That trailer got me hyped.
Like, what do they have left, though, to not show us in the trailer? Because they gave us literally everything.
The Chameleon?
There's a lot of Endgame stuff they're not showing in there.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of hint. There's maybe some hints in it involving some people, but...
I'm telling you, Chameleon. He's going to be great.
Yeah, there's Chameleon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Captain Marvel. There's going to be like a twist in there.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks... Far From Home, I think it looks good, but I don't know how this movie does after a post-Venom is bigger than Spider-Man world. Like, what kind of world are we living in?
The wrong one.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
People love the edgy stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, unfortunately, there's always going to be 13-year-olds. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always. So we're all in agreement. Endgame, biggest movie of the year, biggest comic book movie, followed probably by Captain Marvel.
See, I don't know if Captain Marvel's going to get beat out by Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man going to get the Iron Man 3 effect?
I don't think so. I personally don't think so. Somebody please quote me on this so you can tell me I was wrong when it happens, but I don't think so.
I think it'll depend on what happens in Endgame. If it gets the Iron Man 3 treatment.
Yeah.
Because like, Far From Home is like the introduction to the MCU going forward.
Right, yeah.
So... But it depends if they market it like that or not. I don't know, but...
I would hope so. But then again, this is Sony, so their marketing might be like, okay, guys, what's the hottest Sum 41 song? And they're like, what?
Oh, God, no, please.
Because let's be real, they did that with Homecoming in international territories. It was like, this is the worst marketing you've ever done.
So we're not getting Limp Bizkit?
My Way or the Highway, Tristan.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it would fit with Far From Home. Like...
He's rolling into Europe.
Oh, my God.
Dude, they're listening to this being like, this is genius. This is free.
No.
Oh, goddamn.